All right, toy fans. So I'm here with another one of our builds. Now this time, this is something I've had my eye on for quite a while on Amazon. I actually ended up getting mine off of TikTok, so it was from the TikTok shop, and I've got to get on there and review it because what we're getting is pretty cool. Normally this thing runs at about $20. I think I got mine for like 12. So they had a big sale going on. Got it then, worth every $12 I put into this. It is a pretty cool set. 225 pieces. If you like building from the ground up, like you don't like having your chassis already made and all this, this is the way to go. You build your own chassis. You rubberize your own wheels. Everything in there. It's got a few Technic pieces. It's got all these pieces that you stack on a lot of very simplistic bricks, and it makes it kind of a solid build in my opinion. It's pretty cool. It does break one of my rules, and I'll go over that when we get to it, and I'll end up correcting that down the road. But I'm going to wait until after review to correct that. So, what we got, of course, is brick loot. Now, I keep hearing all this noise about brick loot all the time. Brick loot, brick loot, brick loot. I'm trying to say in that 47,000 million, 7 times fast, right? It's too much. This is the Brickin Nightly news van. Obviously, you can tell I have not talked a lot today. My jaw is so tired. But you know what? I'm going to bring you the news for this toy to let you know if it's worth it or not. Because for me, this is about you all being able to make some honest decisions on what you get. And if this helps, right? Okay, so the box, here's what we got. We got the Brickin Nightly News. This is the BNN News. This is Brick Loot. Of course, this is brickloot.com. 225 pieces, ages 6 and up. Oh no, it's 234 pieces. It's BL225. So the number is BL225. It's got 234 pieces. Not bad, okay? You've got, of course, Brick Loot stuff on top. You got BNN News there on the side. You got some on the side. On the back, it shows the van open. So you got one where the van is closed, one where the van is open, so you can kind of see some of what it does, right? It's got articulations like an action figure, but it's not an action figure. It is a building toy. Now, I've already built this thing. It is already done, but I wanted us to take a look at the instructions like we always do. Now, instead of it being a booklet, it is one large sheet. So that's something to keep in mind. It is one large sheet. It walks you through left to right, top to bottom, and it's got a few interior sort of like, hey, build it this way and this way, and talks about how to put decals on and all that. Now I added a decal to the back of this that was not required, but I went ahead and did it because to me it just made much more sense, and I didn't want an extra brickly, world news sort of, like, how do you put it, an extra. I did not want an extra decal for no reason. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put that on there and put on the back, and I'll show you what I did. Okay. With that being said, here is your news van. Now this is a pretty slick news van. I'm gonna pull it for you. So it is scaled to a lot of the Lego cars. It is what you think of as like 8 studs wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I guess with the tires, it could be like right at 8. But it's about 6 studs. It feels like an 8 studder. I guess with these, it would make it 8 studs. But here's the thing. It's not a bad van at all. You've got rolls really well. You've got popsicles for the side mirrors. Side mirrors do not articulate except for right there. You've got a camera on top, and that camera does turn. There is a little bit of movement. I guess you could raise it up a little bit, but you're going to have to articulate it like that and then kind of figure out how to do it. So it's not hinged that it does it all on its own. You kind of have to do that. Now, turn-wise, it turns on its own pretty well. Dish moves, doesn't really turn. You have to kind of force it, and the antennas do their thing. On the back, you do have this nice ladder thing. So this ladder, I guess you could, if you wanted to articulate that up. So you can see the BNN News, and that's the extra decal I put on. It felt like the window goes to nothing. So if you look, it just goes to the back wall. You don't see anything. It's not meant for storage. It's not meant for anything else. Honestly, I felt like that could have come out. We could have probably stacked our equipment in there, and we might have been able to hinge something down over it. But it didn't. So it's an empty space. Now that's one of my concerns with this, is that because it's empty space in there, it feels like that's a bit of a loss. And I'll tell you why it's empty space here in a minute. Because if we turn that camera there, we can open up the top and you can get in for play here. Now, here's my second concern. Okay, let's push that up so we can turn it. That's about as high up as you're going to make it. You see that driver's seat in there? If we want to get a driver in there, you have to kind of like take them and let's get my little minifig. Have to kind of take them and set them in and kind of hope and pray. It takes quite a bit. This is one of those where I mentioned it with Funhole. One of the things I like about Funhole / Loot Bricks is that to get inside of the vehicles for certain vehicles, take the top off, get in, do your thing, put the top back on. This could have really, especially for its size, used a thing easily where you could have taken the top off to get in. It is what it is. It's still a pretty cool play feature, but it is very, very hard to get into. And there is an absolute distinguished spot between the driver's seat and the editor seat. Okay, so look, driver's seat back there is up on a plate. Editor seat's back here in front of this. I honestly feel like that should have been pushed forward. And it's really hard to get in there to play. You got a microphone here, which is hard to get to. You've got some really cool like decals and things in there, as you can see. Of course, a monitor from the camera up here. You got this on air, off air, these working things. There's even a decal here, buttons. It's hard to see. Now, my on air, off air, my little decal, it broke. So I'm missing the on air, or a part of the on air. That kind of bothers me. It's my second sticker to put on, and it broke, and that really discouraged me. Up front, you have a decal that goes across 2 bricks. You know I'll be cutting that open. I cannot have stickers going over 2 bricks, because if I ever want to break this apart, it needs to be able to break apart. The decals are pretty interesting. They are a type of almost like temporary tattoo in a way, but you stick them down, you position them, and then you take off a clear top, and it makes it almost like raised printing on the tile. So it feels less like a sticker and feels more like a water decal in a way. Now the doors have this cool like Technic sort of hinge to it. You can, of course, like do this, make it feel like an actual like door. It works. You can pull them out. I guess if you wanted to convert this into a turtle van, it'd be pretty easy. It almost feels like the inspiration is a bit like either the turtle van or April O'Neil's news van, which I think is pretty cool. Now with that, you do have, of course, and we'll get that sticker there. You kind of see the back of this thing. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you wanted to take this off, I guess you could take it and it could be a camera like that. But usually these are kind of mounted up top. So you can always bring it back like that. There you go. Now you do get a couple of extra brick pieces to create a handheld camera like this, which is pretty cool. Not too bad, not too shabby. And then you get a camera that has a little barrel extender on it from Technic that gives you kind of an extra lens on the end of your camera. So 2 really good camera pieces. And when you open up, you're like, all right, I'm going to put this in there so my news guy can go for a ride, figure life out. He can cover all the stories for the day. He knows exactly what's going on. My news guy is in the know. And you're like, all right, where'd I store them? And I guess you just say, well, just throw it in there, I guess. Here, let's toss it back in. No. Why? Why is it not? No. Oh, just, hey, now it's in the driver's seat. That's one key area that I'm kind of upset about. Because, like, look. You've got a spot over here where you've got an empty plate that's a perfect spot for a clip. But you don't have a clip. And there's no extra clips to this. It's like plates with a clip to it. That would have been perfect to have it to where you could mount these up. Even if it was something as simple as taking these and finding a way to mount them up here and then set them in so they close in the door. Or in this case, keeping that open, taking that out, switching it, putting some sort of door on there, so that way you could store equipment and close it down. There's a part of this, like I love the build, and I like pretty much everything about it, but that small aspect of not having anywhere to put the extra pieces, and these are crucial for any news van to have a handheld and a camera and all that to help report the news, right? You figured, wait, why not have a spot where you can open up the back? And it could have been simple as, hey, we're going to take this, we're going to take the actual window out, we're going to extend the back out, square it up in the back, and just put a double, was it a 1 by 4, right? 1 by 4 by 2 door that you can pull open. You could put the B&N Brickley Nightly News on the back of that. So you got your last sticker. You could pull up the ladder, put your stuff in, close it down, and it feels like everything has a home, which is what we'd want, right? So where these things shine, and they do really well, and the build itself is pretty good. Some of the bricks are a little tight, so some of the clutch capacity of some of the bricks almost feels like too much. Whereas, you get some that have a perfect snap, it's seated, it's fine. I felt like there were times when some of these bricks felt like they were pulling up, and that's not, it's good because that they're holding up, but then over time that's going to pull these plates and it's going to break them apart. You're going to end up having, walls and things that fall off of this. Am I done with brick loot? No, absolutely not. I will probably go again and find something else. As long as they got city stuff, which I enjoy, like city stuff, especially for my harbor city. I want to add. I want to add to it as much as I can. I want to be able to create little things like this. I think it's a cool set, honestly. I think it's one of those sets that's like, if you're into city building, you want a news van, this is kind of the way to go, because I haven't seen a lot of news vans, right? So this feels like the way to go for a news van. The blue is nice. It's bright, very primary blue. The reds are great. The whites are great. It feels like a news van. It's just, there's some few things that we probably should have had, like reversing the order of this plate so it opens up the opposite way. Probably not having the window in the back and having a storage door. Probably having this where we could take this off just so we could fit a figure in there and not have to worry about it, or even have it to where maybe when the doors open, you take the windows out. Just something to help it allow for a better playability, because putting a figure in there is very hard. I'm going to tell you. And taking the roof off to put a figure in is really hard too. When you take the roof off, you're pulling up so many other things that you don't want to do. So I think with that, brick loot would probably do really well to have it to where you have roofs that pull off to make it easy and available for play. I think that's a must-have. The doors, excellent. The decals, excellent. The rollability, excellent. The overall look of this thing is amazing. It looks great. I was playing with it all night last night. So it's one of those, it really is a worthy toy. Do we get a minifig? No. And that's kind of a downside, because I would have liked to have had a minifig with this. But, like I said, I got to order some stuff from them. They had like a gumball machine, some other things I thought would be really nice to have. So, maybe I'll look and see what all they have. But I don't remember seeing a lot of minifigs. But they do have a lot of world building stuff and just little sets here and there. So, to me, it's well worth me hitting them up again and seeing what else they have. So that's all I got to say about Brick Loot's Brickin Nightly News Van. Hey, look, I didn't mess it up that time. That's really nice. Yeah, solid van. I'd definitely say it needs a few fixes, but it's nothing that can be fixed with a little bit of ingenuity and probably some smartness about you, which I know most of you can do it. So that's all I got to say about the that's all I got to say about the Brickin Nightly News Van from Brick Loot. Solid piece. Definitely say check it out and get it. If I can, I'll try to drop the link down in my description box. It'll probably be the one from Amazon, but I believe all that money still goes back to them to do what they need. All right. Thank you all for showing up today. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting.